Hi, my name is Kira. I'm excited to be in the book group for Shadowland by Peter Straub. I picked Shadowland because the speculative fiction novel I'm writing is set in what we would consider our contemporary world with a twist. There's elements of the world that are dystopian in my novel, and my main character has extraordinary abilities, something that sets her apart. So I was drawn to this story because of the fact that the uncle that they go visit for the summer is not just maybe a wizard, a sorcerer. So that sets it in our world with speculative elements, which is kind of what I'm writing. Now, Peter Straub, I was familiar with him as the co-writer of The Talisman and Black House with Stephen King, but for some reason I thought he was British, but he's an American writer. Yeah, I thought he was British. I guess he lived there for a time. So that's something about the author I didn't know. I had to delve in. Oh, he's American, but he did live in England for a time. And his style. So I've started the book, and I was struggling a little bit with who's the main characters. It didn't seem immediately obvious, which reminds me of even the first chapter of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. In Canada, we called it the Philosopher's Stone. And the first chapter is actually about Vernon Dursley, and it's, so you don't even meet Harry in the first chapter. So maybe that's a British thing. So in Shadowland, we have the narrator go to the bar and meet Tom, and they're talking about telling the story before we even get into the story, which feels kind of a little bit like H.G. Wells' The Time Machine, where you've got the frame outside the main story. And then I was still wondering who's the main characters. So on my copy, on page 79, the narrator, which I don't even think we know his name yet. Maybe I'm just not far enough into the book yet. I don't know the narrator's name. But in the first person, the narrator who's telling the story, talked to Tom at the bar about telling the story, talks about the Carson School. And he says, "When I was there with Tom Flanagan and Del Nightingale and the others, the school was chiefly situated in an old Gothic mansion on the top of a hill." So I do know from a synopsis that the main characters are Tom Flanagan and Del Nightingale, but the narrator must have a strong presence or he wouldn't be the one telling us the story. So anyhow, that's kind of a neat stylistic thing that Peter Straub has going on, and I look forward to reading further.